again. It's a can't stop, won't stop situation here on this Wednesday, September 15, 2021. This is season 2, episode 31. I think we were at part 289 today here on the State of Football, your home for real football talk. Rick Serratellatona, like it is when it comes to the world of football. You know what we do here on Wednesdays. Buckle up. It's an international affair. If you're a first-time listener, well, welcome. You're in for a treat. We're going to travel around the globe to Canada, to Germany, back around again, and bring it all to the forefront here on NFLDraftBible.com, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. And you know what that means? Today is a Wednesday. We got the Gamers coming on from the esports community. I can't wait to talk to them. We're going to go a little overtime around 10:05, an hour from now. Chris O'Leary from the CFL, always coming on and dropping gems on them each and every week. We'll even have longtime scout Craig T. Smith. We'll have an open roundtable forum and discussion on the Canadian Football League. And we also have our first guest in just a minute. He is Keanu Ebanks of the ELF. But first, you know what time it is. Rick the Ruler, Amanda Ruler. It's a Rick the Ruler, Amanda Ruler kind of day. We're just ruling on Wednesdays. Good morning, Amanda, from Hamilton, are you these days with the McMaster Marauders? Is that where you're based out of?
Exactly. I'm in Hamilton right now. So we actually face Western this weekend. So I'm really excited. I've been preparing. The athletes have been preparing. So let's go. Let's get in. It'll be my first time on the sidelines officially coaching a football game full time. So I'm really, really excited for that.
Oh, we're pumped up. I can't wait. Is that going to be live streamed anywhere, Amanda?
I will let you guys know. So hopefully, because I think with the COVID rules, it's really, I don't know if there's going to be fans or anything right now. So it probably will be live for sure. So I will let you guys keep you in the loop.
Awesome. Outstanding news. Amanda Ruler making waves. By the way, she will be the first CFL coach. She's going to get there. We're going to get it done. She's doing McMaster Marauders coach, and she's just making waves as a pioneer here, representing women in football. I got my pink on today, representing Amanda. We're representing the Gamers. You know, we are a diverse show here on the State of Football. We bring you all kinds of football knowledge, a little bit of esports sprinkled in. Again, I have taken on the commissioner's role of the Collegiate Esports Conference 1, CF1.GG. We're launching October 4th. Valorant, highly competitive, outstanding stuff coming your way. I can't wait to dive in it a little bit further. All right, buckle up. Let's do it, Amanda. You ready to welcome in our first guest here today?
Let's go. Let's bring him in.
All right, Keanu Ebanks from the ELF. As you know, we've been bringing on a representative from the European League of Football each and every Wednesday here. Peel back the layers. Let you know, what are the other alternatives going on outside of the NFL, CFL? ELF, as far as I'm concerned, is the next best thing. We have a great blend of international players, American players, and some of them you will see resurface here in the States as they continue to pursue a professional career in football. But currently, they are in the thick of the playoffs. There's an all-star event coming on October 3rd. The championship is September 26th. Tickets are available on the website, European League of Football. Samantha, if we could pop that website up at some point. But let's say good morning to Keanu, who joins us. He's been waiting so patiently in the virtual green room there in Hamburg, Germany, and we're just sipping on coffee. It's afternoon or maybe evening time. Keanu may be sipping on something else, but how are you today, Keanu? Thanks for joining us here.
I'm feeling great. I'm great. Maybe I'll be sipping something else if we didn't have practice tonight. But
there you go.
Just the water right now.
So take us through your ELF experience. You have practice later tonight, so obviously you're preparing for the playoff game. Yeah, what were your personal expectations coming in? What were the team expectations coming in? And what is the overall experience for those of us here in the United States that are curious about the ELF? We have our scout, Lorenz Leinweber, on location, but I'm keeping track from a distance. Give us the bird's eye view of your personal experience.
Personally, first of all, I want to be it was my goal coming in to be the best left tackle in the league and in Europe, hopefully. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job this year. protecting the quarterback, making running lanes, and doing all the good stuff that offensive linemen do. Team expectations: win the championship. What else is there? Honestly, first year Hamburg were the NFL Europe last team to win NFL Europe, and we want to be the first team to win the Elf Bowl.
Yeah, I love the goals. I love the expectations. We aim high here at the State of Football, NFL Draft Bible, ELF, Keanu Ebanks. And it's funny because we have the Prez, Zach Patro, in town. And, I was letting him know I'm a Yankees fan. And he said, hey, how's it feel to win championships? I said, I didn't win them personally, but hey, we're all about rings and things. And Keanu here, he wants to bring home the bling bling. So a couple games left here to go, September 26th. 2 weekends away. We'll see who wears that ultimate crown. But Keanu, a follow-up here from me. Left tackle. Give us some measurements here. What are you checking in at? Height, weight? Any scouts at home tuned in? Give us a little self-scouting report. What do you do well? What are you going to flash on film?
I'm 6'5/6'6", about 310, 312 right now. Hand size 10 and a quarter, 35-inch arms. I know all this because I've been to a couple of the combines. On film, you're going to see a guy who really likes to protect his quarterback and likes to punish guys, put guys in the dirt, and the rep for him a lot of the time. Make sure that they don't want to get up and just make guys, honestly, get them exhausted, tired, and hopefully by the end of the game they don't want to rush anymore, and then they'll go, okay, I'll go play on the other side now, see if I have more luck over there, which is usually happens quite often.
I like that. Keanu Ebanks here with Rick Saratella, Amanda Ruler, the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. Amanda, what do you got for Keanu here?
So interesting to hear about the league and watching it grow as a whole. What do you think personally you bring to the football field every day personally? That's your skill set. What do you bring to the table?
Energy, definitely. I'm a high energy guy when I get on the step on the field, whether it's practice or games. I like to bring the energy. I like to bring other guys up with me, even if they're not feeling the same way. And I like to bring the physicality, definitely. I think I'm probably best known for my physicality in the offensive line. You have to be. You don't really have a choice. If you're not physical, then someone else can be on the field, I feel like.
Oh, 100%, especially the energy part. A lot of people see that as leadership as well, because you have to get all your teammates going in the mornings, especially if there's morning workouts. You have to get everybody going and have that energy throughout the day. So I definitely respect that. How can people watch this? Like, how can we watch this and keep following you guys?
I mean, there's the Game Pass, European League football Game Pass, which is on the website. I think there's Rockman TV. It's not on in the States on normal TV, but over in Germany and Spain and Poland, it's on a terrestrial TV now, actually. And I think they just released something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but follow us on Instagram, Hamburg Sea Devils. Follow my Instagram, Twitter. Everything's on there.
Yeah, and our good friend Christopher Han. You say Han, I say Han. He's over there doing great things for the ELF behind the scenes, but we can't thank him enough. From New Jersey to Germany, Chris has really been making this happen and facilitate it. He's got so much on his plate. And so he told me, you can go get the Game Pass. We have one here at the Draft Bible, but you can go to the website over there at ELF and get access to the playoffs. Hey, shout out to our chat room people, to Lorenz Lineweber. He'll be checking you out here this weekend, Keanu. He says,
Lorenz,
what's up?
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, we got Brian
That's my guy
Beasley.
Right there.
Yeah, checking in from Louisiana. You know Lorenz?
Of course, Lorenz is my guy, man.
Lorenz is making waves out there on the other side of the pond. He's being seen and heard from, and it's great to see all of our staff members here. Amanda doing great things, Lorenz doing great things, and Keanu doing big things. So take us through your journey to American football, Keanu. How did you discover it? How long have you been playing? What is your experience leading up to the ELF. Give us a little bit more background about your story here.
Okay, no problem. Let me answer Lorenz's question real quick. I got 3 spikes for you. Don't worry. Against Frankfurt, I'm definitely going to be spiking that ball. I'm glad you saw that. This is Keanu Ebanks, and listen to That American Football Show with Adam. So I started playing football in when did I start playing football? 2013, actually. My mother used to live in New Jersey, actually, Hoboken, New Jersey. So I used to go over there quite often, and I would watch a few games on TV, and I thought, this is for me. And I started playing it when I went to the University of Hull when I was 19. I played there for 4 years. I then went to Hildesheim in Germany. Played for the Invaders for 2 years, and then I went to Sweden, Stockholm, where I played for 1 year. And then I came to the ELF. In 2019, I went to the NFL International Combine. And in 2020, I went to the CFL Global Combine. So, yeah.
Well-traveled, Keanu Ebanks. And you're growing on me, Keanu. I like you even more now. You got Hoboken roots in you. I was just there the other day. As a matter of fact, I said hello to the city for you. So now I got to ask you, you've been over here? You've been over there. You've been around the world and back again. I mean, Jersey food compared to other places you've been. Who's taking home the top spot on the Keanu food raider here? I mean, you're a big heavy now. You playing O-line. We're gonna put value into this response now.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, Hamburg's got some good food. I can't lie. Hamburg treating us really well over here. But the Hoboken food is the portions. Oh my God, is beautiful. I haven't been there in a while, but the portions are crazy. There used to be a little diner called the Malibu Diner. I don't know if it's still there, but we used to go there like once a week when I was over there.
Yeah, diners don't die; they just multiply here in New Jersey. So that's great stuff, and I love that. So Jersey represent. We got Zach the Prez down here at the Jersey Shore. He's in heaven. He had all kinds of oysters and crab cakes and clams and all kinds of stuff going on. Swordfish flying out from the kitchen like, whoo, hey, right here at the Jersey Shore. Rick Saratella, Amanda Rula, Keanu Ebanks. Anything else for Keanu, Amanda, before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I was just watching some of the footage of the CFL Global Combine, and I am from Canada, so I follow CFL quite a bit. What was it like being at the Global Combine for the CFL?
Oh, it was great. It was super professional. It was just so fun to be invited and compete with guys who are good quality players. And honestly, it's an honor. Honestly, whenever someone recognizes you from abroad and they can see that you're playing good football, it always feels good. To be honest.
Was there a lot of people there or interest in doing it? Did they scout a lot of people?
Yeah, I think there was about 50 from each country, and then the final 40, 50 was only released in February this year. So yeah, and then there was obviously the draft, the global draft in April. So yeah, there was a lot of good quality players from all over Europe. And actually, for the final part of the combine, I was actually in Sweden. And I had to film all my drills while I was in Sweden.
Keanu Ebanks here, an exciting international prospect. Don't be surprised if you see him back here on American soil in the National Football League down the road. And we appreciate the time here, Keanu. We got a question coming in from Lorenz in the chat. Who's the toughest player you've had to block thus far in the ELF?
ELF? Oh, damn. I'm gonna have to give it to him. I hate this. Kyle Kitchens is the sack leader, number 45 for Leipzig. He's a good player, honestly. He's definitely the toughest guy, and he's a sack leader for a reason.
Yeah, we had him on just last week. Good dude. So you seem like a competitive guy, Keanu. Like, are you offensive linemen? You're like light switch people. You're all nice and laid back here, and then you get on the field and you just start mauling people. Is that a accurate assessment of your personality?
I think you
Did
might
we
have
freeze
froze
him?
for a second. But
Oh,
yes, that's always
I got
when
him froze up. See?
you got
All
him
right, we'll
froze
see if
up.
we can get Keanu back. But just a really great player there for the ELF, Amanda. And you're watching the film at home here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. And thank you, Keanu, for coming on. We appreciate the time. We know he has to get ready for a playoff game. So final thoughts there, though, on Amanda. A very impressive young man there.
Oh, motivated, lots of energy. I'm excited for him. Just watching this film, like you said, quiet, laid back guy, but he lights it up on the field, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's an offensive lineman DNA for you.
You're right.
Rick Saratella, Amanda Ruler. We've got Chris O'Leary coming up later on in the show from the CFL.ca website. We'll have Craig T. Smith, little CFL open forum roundtable. Daniel Cassidy chiming in the chat room. I see him. Good morning here. I had my Easton Sports On shirt yesterday. Did you see me out here, Cassidy? Cassidy kid? By the way, Dan, get at me after the show. So, Amanda, take us through the McMaster week that was. You mentioned you got the first game coming up this week. What was the preparation like with the team atmosphere, right? You go through the training camp, and now you have your first opponent that practice week. Usually the intensity gets kicked up a notch.
Oh my goodness, exactly. And I'm also doing strength and conditioning with the players as well. So last week we had our first strength and conditioning session, but this week we have two, and then the non-dressers have three. But the point is that we're kicking it up a notch and making these guys, we're doing velocity-based training in the weight room. So nothing heavy or nothing that's going to make them really sore like hypertrophy training. But we upped it in the weight room, nice and fast and speedy, getting them all ready for season. And coming into this first game, we have been doing film, we have been doing practice, we've been having team meals for bonding, more film after that, more meetings. We are doing everything together. It's almost like 10-hour days together, although they are going to class. But in between that, it's football, learning, installs, assignments, making sure everything is right and tight. Even I'm getting in my workouts in between everything. So not only athletes are preparing, I'm preparing coach wise in the gym, and I'm also preparing, staying up super late watching film till like midnight, and then I'm with the boys in the 6 a.m. workouts. So I'm on my grind, and all the guys are on their grind too. And this spot you see here, I was on the Rod Peterson show recently.
Yeah, I saw that floating around the social media world. What were you guys chopping it up about? Take us behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, well, the number one question I probably get asked quite a bit is asking me how the athletes are responding to me as a female coach in the industry, because like I said, there's never been a woman coach, a football coach in U Sport, Canadian football. So it's interesting to see how they respond, and I'm getting so much love and respect from all the players. And I think it's because of 2021, right? We're on the rise of women in football, and I know we're just rising, and I hate to say that, but it's coming up, and a lot of athletes are loving it. They're super accepting, super into it. They say coach every time they see me. They ask me for advice, and I'm treated just like anyone else. So I want to turn this opportunity from a women's apprenticeship into I'm just Coach Amanda, Coach Ruler, right? Doesn't have to look at my gender, right, at all. Like, and I want to eliminate that question, how are they responding to you? Because like I never even thought about it. I just came in, and that's just the natural state of an athlete to either like come in and respect their coach. And I always did that no matter who they were, and they respect me. And I never really thought about it until everyone started asking me. Isn't that weird?
I saw you in action. So after that, there was no question. But even coming in, I knew you were highly qualified. But it's like, that doesn't even cross my mind. So it sounds like what we need to do here, everybody at home, you looking at me? I know we got the graphic. Erase the stigma. That's what we're out here to do. Erase that stigma. That's what we want to do, because I don't even think, like, you're saying you get asked this all the time. Never even crosses my mind. And I think that's what we need to, but because you're getting asked it, it's obviously still a perception. And, you're getting some support here in the chat room too. They better shape up or ship out and listen. And,
exactly.
we talked about it on the Tuesday show with Rusto. Like, I agree. Russ made a point like, hey, women just add a whole different perspective. Quite frankly, right? You get these guys, a lot of testosterone floating around, and then you get that female perspective or point of view that can trigger something and spark a different idea or spark a different mindset or spark a different train of thought. But also, I mean, I see more women playing. I saw over the weekend here a lot of women playing tackle football, which Amanda, I know you have done as well, on top of all your other accolades. And so, I mean, I think it's growing. I think we got to get the CFL to kind of increase the piece and see more females like Amanda Ruler walking the sidelines and getting after it and barking orders. That's what we do here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. And I know another big advocate of yours is waiting patiently in the virtual green room. So why don't we pop him in if he's ready, Samantha? And Craig T. Smith, longtime scout, joining us here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network, and celebrating an anniversary, Craig and Kathy. Happy anniversary, you lovebirds. How are you, Craig?
Doing very well. Thank you very much. We had such a wonderful evening last night. Amanda, you know golf's here, and yeah. we got takeout here from golf's yesterday. 4-course meal. It was just unbelievable. And I had my first sip of alcohol in over 4 years. I had just a little bit of wine, and you know, obviously for good reasons. I haven't done that, but and I'm not going heavy back into hammering the booze down. But it was kind of nice to have a nice red wine with our filet mignon.
That's
very
my favorite
nice, very
from golf
nice.
too.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the anniversary.
Look I'll tell you something. You know what, Rick? Amanda's just incredible. I mean, she's on top of it. Amanda.
Samantha, I know. I did the same thing.
Yeah. Sam, she's incredible. She's just incredible as a producer. You know, obviously I get a chance to watch the show a lot. And I just wanted to say about your staff, you know, with your the Draft Bible, you know, all those young kids, Zach, just totally incredible. And it's a lot of fun. It's great to hear people talk about the game of football and they know what they're talking about. You know, obviously, you know the deal. There's always a difference. Everybody can look at the same film and they go, "Oh yeah, I don't like that guy." Another guy will go, "I love that guy." So, but you know, those kids, it's such a great organization.
Me, and I'm going to unmute myself, but thank you, Craig, because that means so much to me. We work around the clock effortlessly to kind of deliver the alternate content. We were just talking about it, me and Samantha, yesterday, like having these ELF players and insight from the CFL and talking about other topics other than the main three storylines that NFL Network and ESPN are just going to beat you to death with. I think the average NFL fan is like a diehard. They just want more information. Yeah. They want behind the scenes access. They want to understand like more than just the game. We're taking you behind the game, and that's why, you know, it's real football talk here in the mornings. And I agree with you, Craig. These are impressive young men, way ahead of the game where I was 20 years ago. And because Zach and guys like Lorenz and Jack Borowski doesn't get brought up enough, but Alec Polito behind the scenes, and Min Kim is doing great things for us now, and so many great guys. The list goes on and on. I could spend an entire show thanking our staff, but it's allowed us to expand our endeavors and expand our coverage. So let's talk about the Canadian Football League, Craig, while we have you, because we're going to have Chris O'Leary coming up, and you're going to be able to hang out for that segment, do a little roundtable here, or what's your time constraints?
Hey, I'm retired, so
yeah, right. So buckle up. It's a double chin strap affair. We got Craig T. Smith, Amanda Ruler, Rick Saratelli. We're going to dive into the CFL pool. So let's get right into it, Craig. Thoughts and impressions from the week that was. Hit us with your thoughts from what you saw.
Obviously, Winnipeg is the cream of the crop right now. They're playing so well. I worked there for 2 years, and they've got an amazing staff. You know, the front office is just incredible, and they've built something very, very special. And you know, they played very well. The games are won at the line of scrimmage and offensive line and defensive line on both sides. are extremely solid, and then of course they've got a here's the deal: you got to have that quarterback. Everybody knows that in the world, but you don't have the pieces to protect that quarterback, and then you have to have all the different weapons, and Winnipeg has all that. Now, having said that, Saskatchewan lost 2 in a row. That doesn't mean anything. Take a look at what happened last year with Tampa. Tampa went and played New Orleans and lost 2. And in the playoffs, guess what happened? When playoffs are a completely different deal, and Saskatchewan, they still have a lot of the pieces, to be a Grey Cup team. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. They've been hit with some injuries. They've had some things with regards to that. Obviously, Cody, and then of course that goofy fight that happened, and knocked 2 of their guys out. And I can't understand how a bomber didn't get knocked out. But things like that happen. But obviously, those are the 2 that I like now. Now Toronto, hey Rick, I could talk for hours. I could keep rolling. But Toronto is it's like I had said even before they played. It's almost like an all-star team. That Dan Murphy, and the staff, Vince Magri, and all those guys. And they've done a great job. And they're a damn good team. But guess what? The same thing. Like last week, Hamilton wins. This week, Toronto wins. It's one of those things. Yeah. That those rivalries, you never know what's going to happen. But those are strong teams. Those are 2 strong teams. And then good old Russ's team in Montreal. That's a pretty good team. They've done a good job there too. I think a lot depends on Vernon Adams. Vernon Adams plays some good football, and he can. There's no doubt about it. That one of their games, it was almost embarrassing just with what they did with regards to the penalties. And obviously they got to clean that up because those teams got a shot. Ottawa, I have amazing friends on the staff there, and I just feel for them. It's a tough situation. Nichols obviously looks like he's hurt, and Dom sometimes can be inconsistent. Dominic Davis, and it's a tough thing. The West, Edmonton and Calgary. I mean, there's some good teams too. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm very excited. I'm just so fired up about having Canadian football back. It's just so incredible. And this past weekend, I went. Kathy and I took my first road trip since my last scouting assignment, which was scouting Denver, and then I came back, and then all hell broke loose. But this is my first trip. We took a drive to Medicine Hat. I wanted to go and have a look at some of the players there. University of Alberta and University of Regina played, and I got to see that and got to see a lot of good old friends on staffs and stuff like that, and so it was really nice. It was really nice for me to get out there and kind of get back into. Kathy was on the sideline, and she could just see I had a mask on, and I think she still could see the smile on my face, but it was very good to see. And Amanda, you know all about it. You sport football. I mean, you know how great those athletes are. It's very, very cool. Obviously, it's some say it's like a Division II, a Division III type compared to the NCAA. But a lot of these kids, how hard they work. The training that they do, they're just amazing. They're amazing kids, and it's great football. I've been to so many U Sport games, and I've just scratched my head and go, man, I can't believe how good this game is. And Amanda, you're in a great conference, in that Ontario conference, and you got a tough one this weekend, man, against Western. That's a tough one. Is it in London, or are you at home?
London.
You're gonna hope that horse isn't gonna go, because when they have a horse there, and a lady's on top of it, and when they score. When you're on the other side, you want to get that.
We have great defense. I don't think they're going to score, but I'll watch out for the horse. This is going to be a really, really tough game. So I think we're excited. Everyone's like 110% into this week. Like, we are going so hard. Days are so long. And like you said, this is going to be a great matchup.
That's coaching, man. And you're there, and like I said, I mean, you're one of the best teachers around, and that's what coaching is. So. Make sure they're protected. You got those protections. You want to keep that quarterback. You want to make sure that running back's going to pick up the blitz. So
Yeah.
it's McMaster's one of the best programs right across Canada. I mean, it's an excellent campus. I lived in Hamilton for 5 years, and obviously went out there a number of times to scout or for functions and stuff like that. And it's amazing. And the David Burley Center, they've got amazing facilities out there too. So.
Craig T. Smith, Rick Saratella, Amanda Ruler, little open roundtable discussion. We're talking CFL, we're talking football. And I thought I saw you out there back on the sidelines there, Craig. So that was happy for me to see you out there. As some of us know, you've had a tough journey back getting out there to the sidelines. And what a great feeling it is for guys like you and I. I mean, there's very few feelings that top that, right? So I was happy to see that. Getting back to Murphy, though, in Toronto, because I remember being here on the State of Football, co-hosting the show with him, and we would talk before and after and during the shows. But, I mean, I just remember when, a lot of teams were furloughing staff, even though he was furloughed, whatever the case may be. He stayed up in Toronto for quite a while. He continuously signed people through the pandemic, and we joked about it here and said, hey, he's building this all-star team, but hey, it's one thing on paper, it's another thing to build that chemistry. I checked this past week. When the season started, Toronto was picked to finish dead last, and now they are number 2 behind Winnipeg, according to the Vegas odds. Craig, can you believe this?
Yeah, if you would have asked me, there's no way I would have picked them dead last. And just with regards to, and I understand, when you're putting a football team together, you can, well, look at the Yankees. I will just use the Yankees. Look at all the people that they've signed and how frustrating it's been in the last little bit with regards to them. You can put things together, and sometimes it just won't work. Hopefully, the Yankees will get it going, but sometimes it won't work. But to me, I thought Toronto would be right up there with regards because of the guys that they signed, and obviously the new head coach Ryan Dinwiddie, who's a guy that was with us in Saskatchewan here. I know Ryan, and I know how great of a football guy is, and Glenn Young, he was the defensive coordinator, and I was with him. I know what his work is, so I figured that they were going to be, and Jarius Jackson, another guy that I've worked with at BC, at Saskatchewan, all these different places, but just a great staff. They signed a lot of good players. I figured our buckle was going to be pretty good. That was the question, and then of course they signed McLeod, your guy, Rick, and McLeod can get in there and he can do it. So they've got 2 good solid quarterbacks. It's important that you have a good solid quarterback. They've got really good Canadian talent. So I thought that the big thing was going to be putting the team together, gelling, listening to Dinwiddie and all that. So you know what? Hey, you just never know what's going to happen. The ball is not round; it doesn't roll. It bounces funny, and you just never know what's going to happen in a game of football. It's the greatest sport as far as I'm concerned in the world. But hey, it's again, I'm beaming because I'm watching the footage here, and that's the other thing is Hamilton's got injury at the quarterback. They've got two fantastic quarterbacks, and both of them are injured. The kid from Tulsa here, Zach Evans,
Dane
Evans, and of course Mazzoli. So both of them are hurt. So that's going to be a tough thing to deal with when you lose 2 of your quarterbacks. I know what happens when that happens because that happened with us in Saskatchewan. We lost both our quarterbacks, and we went for I was going to swear there, but and then eventually we lost our jobs because of that. So it's not fun when you have things like that. But yep, Toronto's going to be right up there. I just wish I could travel, so I could go to the Grey Cup because it would be a lot of fun, being in Hamilton. And Amanda, will you still be there?
I am staying just so I can go to the game.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm so excited about it. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere if the game's here. I'm staying.
Yeah, that's great. And you know what? Hamilton will put on a good show. Hamilton's a great football town. I mean, they'll put some fans in that stands, and that's a great facility for people to go. I used to love going there. They have a really good press box. It's not a lot of the Canadian colleges have great press boxes, but McMaster would, and they would take care of the CFL scouts. It was pretty good.
Craig, favorite venue / city in the CFL to visit?
Things obviously have changed. BC Place in Vancouver. I was with the Lions for 8 years, and that used to be kind of an office. You go and you work there game day, and or be on the sideline, and BC Place is pretty good. It's Vancouver. That's one of my favorite cities. We love living there. It's such a great place. I used to walk in the rain. Everybody say, "Oh, how can you put up with the rain?" I said, put on some rain gear and walk. And that's what I would do. I'd walk the seawall. I would say I was at my lightest weight, but I'm at my lightest weight now. But I used to walk the seawall all the time. I'd see an eagle, or I even saw a naked woman one time. On one of the beaches. When I was walking. I had to stop for a second. What? It was kind of funny, but Vancouver is one of the better places, and I like that. But you know what? That's the great thing about the Canadian Football League. All our stadiums are fantastic. Amanda, as good as anybody, this facility here. I mean, it's an NFL facility.
Oh, nice.
Minus 50,000 people. I mean, what they have there, and what they have for the players too. What the weight training facility and all that kind of stuff. But the press box, it's all top notch. Winnipeg, same thing, new stadium. Even Calgary, which is an older stadium, I still love going there. But all right across, as far as I'm concerned, right across the board, each of those stadiums are as they're fantastic.
Well, Vancouver just went up a couple notches on my hit list. We're coming for you, Vancouver. Put it on the list. Craig T. Smith, Rick Saratella, Amanda Ruler, little open roundtable discussion, talking football, talking CFL. I see Tom Goodhines has entered the chat. Temple of the Hut, appreciate you. Brian Beasley, Daniel Cassidy, Lorenz Leinviba, all my chat room people. This show is for the people, by the people. It's the NFL Draft Bible, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. It's time to expand the roundtable, and that is going to be Chris O'Leary checking in here each and every Wednesday on the state of football with Rick Saratella, Amanda Ruler, Craig T. Smith, and there he is, Chris O'Leary, the man, the myth, the CFL legend with his predictions, and joining us here once again like he does every Wednesday. Good morning, Chris. I'm going to dive right into the first question because there's so much to get into. You just heard Craig T. Smith say Vancouver was his top venue / city. I'm sure you've hit in all the stadiums here in the CFL. You got a favorite spot?
I would lean towards Vancouver, especially. I don't know if Craig, if you're from the prairies or not, but I grew up in Alberta, so I'm always happy to be out in Vancouver in October and November when it's normally starting to get miserable out there, and you get to get that little weather break in Vancouver is always great. I would think football wise, I think Winnipeg or Saskatchewan, purely just to watch the game has always been my favorite. The crowd's been the most intense and the most passionate about it. And then, and I think if I'm looking for that city experience, football experience combination, I would probably lean Vancouver as well. And unfortunately, I haven't seen the things that Craig has seen on his walks in Vancouver, but I've always enjoyed it when I'm out there.
All right, so next question. What's the food spot like in Vancouver? What am I ordering when I go into the restaurant?
Oh, man, I just feel like there's so many options.
Dungeness crab. If you're a seafood guy,
there we go.
I mean, it's incredible. We used to camp just there's a little area, Point Roberts. It's a peninsula, and you cross it, and that's in the States. So we used to go, and you used to walk to the ocean, and there was tide pools, and you could pick a crab up and then bring it back, and you could boil it. And Dungeness crab, there's nothing like it. I love it.
No, of course, leave it to the scout to know where to go eat. Samantha had some last night, actually. I don't think they're as big here in the Jersey Shore. I think the further north you go up, the bigger they get. But Craig T. Smith, the scout, Chris O'Leary, the media, Amanda Ruler, the coach. Rick Saratella, I'm just here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm facilitating this award tour. So let's throw it back over to you, Christo. Reactions to me, this Toronto team, we were talking about it before you popped on the air here. They've now moved up on the odds. They're right behind Winnipeg, where they've jumped a mighty long way, because before the season started, Toronto was actually predicted to finish last, according to Vegas anyway. Now they are actually number 2 right after Winnipeg. Let's start off right there. What's your take on that?
I'm not surprised. I think we had them second in our power rankings this week, which I don't know if that carries as much weight as Vegas. Probably not. But I think we talked about it before. Just there's so much talent there and so much potential. I think the question for me with that team, and kind of this question I still have with it, is just the consistency and how quickly they can kind of bring all of that together. But it doesn't entirely surprise me, just based on how they've played this year, a little bit up and down. But I mean, they're the only team to take down Winnipeg this year. They've shown a lot of firepower, a lot of depth, and I think the other thing that maybe works in their favor, and this is something that we went through when we were trying to do our power rankings, and I looked at other sites that do their rankings. Spots 2 through 7 in this league are really up for grabs. I mean, it's a jumble of teams that are between 3 and 2 and 2 and 3, and I feel like you could see a lot of teams jump up and down between those spots, which are huge jumps, especially to make it when you get into the midpoint of the season, which we're near or at now. But yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of parity, and I just feel like there's so much room to move. So it doesn't surprise me that Toronto's there, but it also won't surprise me if they kind of yo-yo in between those spots now in the next few weeks, depending on how they play.
Yeah, don't count that team out, and don't underestimate the power of the CFL.ca, because Vegas might be looking at your rankings to determine some of these odds there. So let's not underestimate.
They might be sadly disappointed to find out what goes on behind the scenes and what goes into those rankings.
All right, Chris O'Leary, Rick Saratella, Amanda Rula, Craig T. Smith. Let's go over to Amanda. What do you got here for Chris to kick things off?
Maybe for both of you guys, because now that I saw this game, and I actually went to the Argos game this week. So I was at their stadium for the first time ever. It's pretty nice. I think the stadium I like the most is Mosaic, but I could be a little biased there in that eyes. But I was invited to come by Murph and Pinball, which is really, really awesome to mention those guys. It was awesome to see Toronto in action. They're such a strong team. They have all the elements that make them amazing. What do you think about Sask in Toronto? Like, I honestly think that maybe Saskatchewan's going to get a little of pressure on them from Toronto, but I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that game coming up.
Maybe I'll defer to Craig here.
It all depends. Hopefully Cody's okay. Harker's, a solid quarterback, but Cody's, like a Cadillac. And got to say something about Rich Stubler too. Rich is a defensive coordinator. He's taken over in Toronto, and I've been on a staff with Stubler, and Stubler is an incredible defensive coach. We used to, when I was with Hamilton, we used to go in, and Stubler was with Toronto, and he had his guys like computers. It was like playing 13 guys. They played that match coverage, and if they made a mistake, they was almost like computers. They would talk about each other, and then all of a sudden they'd go, "Oh, okay," and they'd never make that mistake again. So the defense of Toronto, I think, is going to be very, very, very strong. This is a really great matchup because there's two solid football teams with a lot of talent, excellent coaching, and for me, Chris, you're the guy with regards to making the pick. But for me, it's a toss-up, and it's going to be a very interesting thing to watch. I think Saskatchewan certainly, they could win, but Toronto could too. So how about that? How about going out on a limb like that? But I'm really, honest to God, I'm really looking forward to this one. This should be a good one. Two solid teams, well coached. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think if everyone's healthy, I like Saskatchewan at home. Obviously, Winnipeg, the only team to beat them at Mosaic. But yeah, I think we just don't know with the injuries and where they're at. Cody practiced yesterday with the team, which is a good sign. But these things can always take a turn day to day as we get closer to game day. So if you're in a situation where Harker's starting, I just feel like that changes everything in my mind. And
Chris, you bring up a good point with regards to home field. I mean that's a big thing. Have you been to the stadium, the new stadium here, Chris?
I have, yeah.
And the crowd noise, like you say, both in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I've been on both sides. I've been with Winnipeg and been on the sideline with Winnipeg here, and I've been on with Saskatchewan. And I've been on the sideline, in Winnipeg, and your ears get a little sore when you're on the sideline. So it's a great atmosphere for football.
Yeah, I've been on the sidelines for I think the last 2 Riders playoff games, and it's just incredible. And I don't know if they'll be at a playoff level in terms of fan intensity at this point in the season, but it's a tough place to play. And I know the Argos have gone into Winnipeg and played already, so I think they've dealt with a loud crowd. Yeah. But yeah, this will be on that level. I don't want to say which one is louder, but
well, I can. But
there's backlash that always comes with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be tough. I think if the Argos go out and play the way that they're capable of, I think they can absolutely go in and win. But yeah, and I think that's kind of I lean towards Toronto just because of the uncertainty with the injuries in Saskatchewan. And yeah, but it's going to be tough for them. It's a very difficult environment.
All right, Craig, you got a question for Chris you want to fire off? I know you don't get a chance to hang out with them on the air every week like we do, but anything you want to pick his brain on here?
Well, we are a couple of prairie boys. I grew up in Winnipeg, moved to Vancouver to get away from the -30. But Chris grew up in Alberta. Whereabouts did you go to school, and how did you get into what you're doing right now?
I grew up in Fort McMurray, which is just about as north as you can get in Alberta. And yeah, I went to school in Edmonton at the University of Alberta. I started working at the school paper there. Got into freelancing. I think somehow got thrown into covering Edmonton when I think Vicky Hall was covering the team for the Edmonton Journal at that point, and had to go to Beijing for the Olympics in 2008. And I think I got about a day's notice, and they said, "Hey, you're going in for the next month." And that was kind of my my baptism by fire into the CFL. But yeah, it's been an amazing, I guess, yeah, like 13 years.
Did you cover the Golden Bear football?
I did a little bit, yeah, and especially when I was at the school, I was at all those games.
What year would that have been?
I was sports editor, I think in like 05, 06. So I would have seen, was it Tim Salmon as their quarterback, or Daryl Salmon? I can't remember.
Daryl, I think it was.
Yeah, and that was the first time that U of A team had been good in a very, very long time, and I think they made a somewhat of a deep playoff run, not as far as they wanted to go. I remember that.
By the way, I love the CFL.ca. I think it's fantastic. It's great.
Thanks.
What I love, because me, the idiot player personnel guy, is you want depth charts and rosters. And every week you've got the game notes, and you've got the depth charts and rosters, and I obviously I print those off, and I just to keep on top of players and stuff like that. I have a question. Sometimes some of the teams, they don't put the roster on there. Why is that? They have the depth chart, but then there's no roster. There's only, like, usually I'll print 2 pages, depth chart, and then print the roster with the numbers and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes they don't. Is that a team that they do? They don't submit that, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think that's what it would be. Is that we post what is sent over to us, but I think most of the teams is usually the two pages together, right? Most
do, but what's funny is sometimes the team all of a sudden they've got the 2, and then the next week they only got the 1. So go kick their ass.
Okay.
Well, you're talking to the direct demographic of your audience here, Chris. Hilarious. But I love the background question, because we do like to highlight, people's journeys and give some insight into the world of football. And I'm curious to know, Chris, for you personally, what piece of advice could you pass forward to an aspiring journalist, an aspiring young individual who wants to break into the media industry? And then also, 2-part question. What if you had to pick something, I don't want to say the biggest change because it's evolved. I don't even recognize the business from when I first entered it, but maybe you can just talk about your personal experience, something that has evolved or changed with the times. I'm just always curious to hear from others their perspectives.
I would say first, just to the advice part, I think, and this kind of I think leads into the second part, is just I think you've got to get your foot in the door wherever you can, whatever that looks like. And I know when I started out, I was writing for a Canadian basketball site, for free, as much as I could, whatever they take from me, I was giving to them. Same thing at the student paper, was volunteering there. And I think it's just whatever opportunities you can find or seek out for yourself. And I think Amanda's been great at this in her career in a bunch of different ways. Whatever opportunities become available to you, I think you've just got to dive in and just hustle and hustle and hustle. And I think people respect that in any field that you're trying to get into. And I think you got to put in the work. And then I think to go into that, I mean, it's changed so much. I think about when I came in, I had to cold email some random website editor, and now I feel like you can just start your own site, and it's so much easier to do that. And social media has just changed so much. And if you want to be a person that grabs your phone after a game and give 90 seconds of hot takes into your Instagram stories, you can do that. And if that's the way that you want to go with it, I just feel like there's more self-created opportunity and just getting yourself out there. And again, I think it just comes back to hustling and working hard, and I think just working respectfully and just trying to make contacts everywhere you can. It's just I think it's just creating that opportunity and then just diving in on it. If that makes sense, I don't know if that's clear, but
yeah, no, I think there's a lot of common denominators there for all the young listening audience and the older listening audience. We can learn a lot too, but I think there's a lot of common denominators with the successful people that we've had on this show, echoing a lot of the similar sentiments. So great point there with the social media. Yeah, everybody has a voice, right? You want to go make yourself heard, you could get it out there. You can get it out there.
You, yeah.
All right, we're winding down. Craig, you have anything else? I know Amanda's going to get into predictions in a second here. Craig, you got one more you want to fire off or something for Chris?
Yeah, just looking at the schedule, fantastic matchups this week. 2 games on Friday, and with Calgary and Hamilton. I mean, talk about a real good matchup there. Who knows what's going to happen in that one? I mean, again, there's a toss-up. It'd be great to hear what, Chris, you have to say. Toronto, we talked about Toronto and Saskatchewan. And then on Saturday, the doubleheader with BC and Montreal. Another great matchup, and that's Montreal's first game at home. And then, of course, Winnipeg at Edmonton. And, Edmonton has shown some flashes. Winnipeg, like I said, the cream, but, they're going into Edmonton. And, sometimes that can be a tough place to play. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Chris? What do you think about some of these matchups? I mean, it's a great weekend in Canadian football.
It is. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know we talked about Toronto, Saskatchewan. Look at Calgary and Hamilton. I'm really intrigued to see what Calgary does. I know Bo Levi Mitchell didn't look like himself for about 80% of that game, maybe. I don't know if I've ever seen the timing and the misfires, even the exchange with Dave Dickinson on the sideline. I've never seen Dave have to get mad at Bo about anything before. And so I'm excited. I'm interested to see what Calgary can do if the offense looks a little better this week. I think Bo had that touchdown to Kamar Jordan in the dying seconds of the game. I don't know if I think that could be a good thing that they can build off of that, and they've got a full week of practice now. I'm interested to see how Calgary plays. Also interested to see what's going on with Hamilton, and I don't know how ready Jeremiah Masoli is. I know they're looking at David Watford a lot, and he's a guy that I don't know a ton about. I know he's spent some time in Saskatchewan, and Craig, I feel like you might know him on a better level than we would. But I mean, if he starts, to me, I don't really know what that looks like offensively. I know he said he's kind of a pocket passer. He doesn't look to run, but that's about it.
Well, I think he's got mobility. It's one of those quarterbacks where he has the tools. And he hasn't been a consistent quarterback in the Canadian Football League. So, hopefully he can put it all together. But again, Rick, all about that, with regards to quarterbacks having tools, but just haven't put it together. So I'm really hoping Mazzola can come out and can be. The big thing about the Calgary deal, when they played Winnipeg, when Mayer went 16 for 16, there was a big reason for that, and that was because of their offensive line. Their offensive line, stellar. I've never seen such a lack of pressure from the Winnipeg front against an offensive line. So, that because Hamilton has a pretty good defensive line. So, I think that'll be a critical deal. And like you said, Chris, Bo had some trouble last week, but gee, they came out and they won. They won 32 to whatever it was, So you kind of scratch your head with regards to that. But I wonder just how healthy Bo is. Bo was such a good quarterback. He was the top, and he hasn't been that at the top. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then with the Saturday games, to me, this is the marquee matchup for the weekend is just BC and Montreal. I think that could be a ton of fun. I don't know if they're the two best teams in the league. I think they could be maybe by the end, but just Mike Riley, Vernon Adams. For me, I'm hoping for a shootout. I hope they combine for like 80 points or something. I think it could just be a really fun night.
I know that when traveling to Montreal, I know it was always tough to win in Montreal, and I'm not sure if it was because of the nightlife, the too much smoked meat, or whatever.
It definitely presents its distractions.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nowadays, it's a little different, right? Because the distraction isn't there. So BC might have a better chance because of that. Because I know that we've gone into there. I've been with teams, and we've gone into there, and you kind of scratch your head with that happened.
I always think too, traveling from BC, like you're going 3 time zones on a short turnaround. I think it's your internal clock is a little bit off, right? And I feel like that's a hard thing to overcome.
And same with going the other way. A lot of those Eastern teams, they're playing at 11 o'clock at night.
Montreal has a terrible record in BC over I can't remember, like last 20 years or something.
It's very tough, for sure.
All right. Do you want to go through? I'm just going to do rapid fire quick test.
All right.
Okay. Stamps, Ticats. Who's going to win?
I think Stamps.
Okay. Sask or Argos?
I think Argos.
Lions or Alouettes?
I'm going to go Alouettes at home.
And then Blue Bombers, Elks?
I don't think much is stopping Winnipeg right now. I'm gonna stick with the Bombers until they lose.
Awesome. I always love hearing your picks for the week. So
I think they were horrible last week. I think I was 1-3. I think BC bailed me out with Ottawa, and that was it.
There you
I think
go.
you might have been 4-0 then. I think you went opposite of me for just about everything.
That is true. So we'll switch. I'll be the next guest feature on the website.
Amanda, who do you have this week?
Oh, me. Okay, so I'm gonna pick Ticats. I'm gonna pick. I want to say Toronto. Like, I'm so sorry, SAS fans out there. I said Blue Bombers last week, and I almost got my head.
Hey, you just got the green paint off your face to do the interview. What are you doing?
I know. And then I'm gonna go Alouettes, and then I'm gonna go Bombers.
Very interesting.
Yeah, all over the place here. How about you?
I'm not. I have too many friends on there to predict, but
that's right.
I can tell, with regards to what could happen, why a team can win. But if I picked against Russ Landy, Russ would not be. He wouldn't call me, but I don't want to do that.
And if you ever want to make everyone unhappy, just pick a tie. I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
All right, let's do parting shots. We'll go around the room here. Chris O'Leary, thank you for tuning in. If you join us here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated, you'll see Chris here every Wednesday around 9:40 a.m. Eastern time. Chris, anything else you want to promote? PR? Are you still sitting atop the standings, by the way?
Oh, I think after last week, I think someone will be coming after me. I think I'm under 500 now, and I think it's. I think there's been some change after this week.
Okay. Well, what else are they going to find up there on the website for the rest of the week? What do you got cooking?
We've got everything you need for for week 7. Just thinking. I think we've got our writers' picks are coming up. I believe this afternoon. And then we've got some fantasy stuff coming up tomorrow morning, all the projections, and for the people that love their fantasy, that we can help them pick their roster for this week. And just I got everything you need for the games. We'll have it up here in the next few days.
Well, we appreciate it, Chris. You're doing great work over there, and keep it up, and look forward to chatting next week.
Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
Absolutely. And Craig T. Smith making a cameo here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. Chopping it up a little CFL for us, Craig. We appreciate the insight. It's so happy to see you getting out, getting on the sidelines, getting the anniversary in, a little vino with the meal. We got a lot in common, Yankees fans. By the way, I'm a little concerned. I guess as we sit here on September 15th, 2021, I guess my biggest concern is the bullpen. What is your biggest concern?
Yeah, the pitching is dead. Not only the bullpen, the starting pitching. I watched I got the MLB package, so I get to watch the Yankees all the time. And obviously I have a wife, so we've got the big TV, and she can watch that, and I've got the little TV on with the Yankees, and I've watched a lot of games that way. And I'll tell you something. Yankees are just totally frustrating. When they go 13 wins in a row, and you're thinking, all right, they're just cruising into the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they go up against, at that time, a 94 loss team. And by the way, that picture right there, that was on our anniversary in 2008 in Toronto at a place called Carmen's. Just a fantastic meal there, but that's a while ago. But anyway, the Yankees pitching is just. They're got even Cole, has been knocked out of games, and I don't know if Kluber's ever going to get back, but there's some issues with the pitching, and the other thing is the bats. It's almost like hit and miss. They'll score 9 runs, and then the next day they'll be shut out or get 1 run. So they're just so inconsistent. I wouldn't bet any money on the Yankees, and me. I mean, I've been a Yankee fan since 1961, and I love the Blue Jays too. Don't get me wrong. I like the Expos. Obviously, I'm a Canadian kid, so I've got that Canadian stamp on my chest. So but again, I love America too. But the Yankees have been a team. Bobby Richardson was one of my favorite players in '61, and I went through. Rick. I mean, we've been through a lot of bad years, in the 60s and then in the 70s until 77. They were in the World Series in 76 and lost to the Big Red Machine. But, so, I mean, the Yankees are my team, and it's just so dang frustrating. You look and you go, what could be with this team? Like I was saying, like the Argos, I mean, this is like an all-star team, they get Gallo, all the, they could have some pretty damn good linebackers on that crew with all these big son of a guns that come to the plate and not Voigt and all these guys that can knock the heck out of it, but they're just too inconsistent for me, and it's unfortunate. But you know what? I'll still be wearing the Kathy's got a Yankee hat too. We've been to Yankee Stadium so many times. The last year that the Yankees were in the old stadium, we had to go. We were living in Hamilton, and I said to Kathy, I said, we got to go. We have to go. To get into the Yankee Stadium. And you know what? It was so funny to hear the Yankee crowd, because they weren't doing very well. And oh my goodness, it was, good old
Samantha cringes having to go to the Yankee games with me, so I've kind of spared her that experience over the years.
Hey, I posted "Go Yankees," and she posted back to me. I'm a Philly fan, so we won't be putting that stuff on. But yeah, I'm going to go this weekend. I'm going to go see more U Sport football, preseason, University of Saskatchewan against my alma mater, the University of Manitoba, and obviously get to see some good people there. And how great is it for me to be with Rick and Amanda, two people that I admire your guys' work. I think that you guys do such a great job. Fantastic for football. And keep doing what you're doing, and I hope I can live long enough so Amanda can hire me one time, down the road once she's up top. Don't forget Joanne Polak. She was the general manager in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. This is how I started. I started with the little guys, and I went, so many years. I went from the Pee-wees to the pros in 11 years, but I had 5 years of university experience, and you're getting that right now, and it's critical. And with your background in strength and conditioning, and your ability to teach, and like I said, coaching is teaching. You're heading in the right direction, and things are going to be very good for you, and like I said, love this show, love the state of football, I love the NFL Draft Bible, and that's all I got to say.
Well, we got nothing but love back for you, Craig. We appreciate all the love and support. And we thank you so much for hopping on, spending some time with us here this morning. And great to see you continuing to do what you love, getting out to the football field, my man. I can't wait till you get back down in Jersey. Maybe over here at the Jersey Shore, we'll make a little pit stop. Rutgers ain't too far away. We'll go see Coach Shiano up there and keep chopping it up, my man. So thank you so much again. Happy anniversary, and we will chat soon.
You would not believe how much I would love to get back to the East Coast, and that would be great. Thanks for having me.
Let's make it happen. That's Craig T. Smith here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network, on Sports Illustrated with Amanda Ruler, Rick the Ruler. We just had an assortment of all kinds of European League. We got people checking in from Germany. We got people checking in from Canada. We're talking baseball. We're talking football. And now we're going to talk a little esports, Amanda, because I've been pumping it up now here for several weeks. I told you I was going to bring you the gamers and deliver them here on the State of Football as we delve into the esports world. So do we have anything we're going to roll here before the interview, Sam? You got a promo? All right, let's watch this, and we'll be right back with Rebecca Wellman of the Gamers.
Hey, Berta here with the Gamers. We wanted to say a couple of things. We are so excited and thrilled at how many people were nominated for the Gamers Awards 2021. I got some notes, so I got to look at them. First, voting for nominees to determine the finalists that will move on to the next phase will begin on September 13th to give our small but mighty team time to get it done. 2, to those nominees that have been contacted but have not yet responded, get at us. You have until September 6th to accept or decline the nomination. 3, if you nominated someone and they don't know yet, it's because we're a small startup. We're trying to get to everybody, so just be patient. We are still reaching out to people. And lastly, all nominees that accept, yes, you must accept the nomination, will move on to the voting phase. Again, thank you so much. See you on the other side.
Are you going to unmute me? Thank you. They are the Gamers, where women who game connect. We honor all women, marginalized genders, and non-binary gamers here. We welcome all humans who support the mission. And there she is, Rebecca Wellman, here on the State of Football, representing the Gamers, as I should mention. That's Gamehers. And the Gamers are good friends of the Conference 1 Collegiate Esports League that I am commissioner of. So we're so happy to have you here this morning, Rebecca. How you doing? Where are you checking in from today?
Great. I'm actually from South Carolina. So
very cool. All right.
Really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for joining us. So we have Rick Saratella here in New Jersey, Amanda Ruler in Hamilton up in Canada, and Rebecca Wellman down in South Carolina to talk to us a little bit about the Gamers mission, the awards they have coming up that we're very excited about, and we'll go a little bit more in depth into that. But first, introduce yourself a little bit to our listening audience at home. Rebecca, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved with the Gamers.
Sure. Well, I actually used to work in traditional sports and specifically football. So this is really cool for me. I actually did an internship with Clemson when I was there and went to Northwestern for grad school and continued my communication studies there. I worked for their athletic department, and then I moved on and worked for the Patriots, actually. So then once the pandemic hit, I actually found that was a great opportunity to move into esports. Gaming's my passion and what I do in my free time, so it just fit really well, and the Gamers mission really resonates with me because it's helping other women and empower other women.
That's very cool. So tell us about your football experience then. What did you all do with the Patriots? Did you work with the Clemson football team at all?
I did. I was in sports information at Clemson, and I was there for 4 years, and that was really cool. I was down on the field helping the photographers when I first started, and then I moved up to stats and stuff like that later on. I really enjoyed my time there. It was awesome. And the Patriots, I was on their marketing team, and I did digital advertisement, helped with their app, and a lot of other various content creation stuff. So
outstanding. I know the Gamehers has an app coming out soon. We'll talk more about that with Rebecca Wellman. She joins Rick Saratel, Amanda Ruler here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated. And Amanda, it sounds like you got a few things in common with Rebecca here.
Oh, so much. I feel like we're kind of the same person. Well, I love football, obviously, but I actually really love gaming, and that's something a lot of people don't know about myself. It's not just for boys, right?
No.
I wanted to know, like the first question I wanted to ask, I'm like, what games do you play? So what games do you like to play?
Lately, I've played some Apex, some Rocket League, Final Fantasy 14, and Minecraft. That's been kind of the rotation lately. So a little all over the place. I like trying out different games and seeing if any friends will play with me, and that's why like I use the Gamehers community for that as well, to make friends and play online with them. So
No, this is so cool, and I think this is a really, really cool foot forward in the gaming community, especially for women, because I've been doing a lot of streaming on Twitch, playing Call of Duty and Madden, and sometimes it's not as easy for a woman streamer out there. So can you speak on that a little bit?
totally. Women experience a lot of different harassment and hate and toxicity online just for being a woman online. And the Gamehers mission is to kind of confront that and combat that and try to make a difference there. So our app is actually going to be a toxicity-free space. There will be no trolls, no haters. You can just play games and no one will bother you. And that's like what gaming should be. So we're really excited to roll that out and to have everyone get to experience that.
Yeah, this is a big deal in the esports community that we're talking about with Rebecca Wellman here, along with Amanda Ruler, Rick Saratella. And you can go find more information on that app at thegamehers.com, thegamehers.com. And you'll find a lot of cool, exciting stuff on the app, on all their activities, events that they have going on. Of course, on the Twitter at the Gamehers, and of course make sure you follow Rebecca at Bombshell Rebecca, and that's one L in the bombshell, dropping bombs on them. That is Rebecca Wellman here on the State of Football. So let's talk a little bit about the awards, because I know this is the second annual Gamehers Awards, I believe, and from my understanding is the response was just overwhelming a year ago, and you guys have continued to see increased activity, increased votes, increased awards nominated. I mean, this is a growing thing. So something that started off really small as a startup is really just on the verge of explosion, is from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, the awards rolled out last year around this time, and the response was absolutely overwhelming in the best way. It was right in the middle of the pandemic. People just really needed a positive experience online, and the awards gave that to them, especially to the women in gaming that were working so hard and not getting as much recognition during that time. It was really great to have these awards because, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I go online, it's really hard to see a lot of positivity constantly. But during the awards, it's just nonstop positivity, people lifting each other up. It's absolutely incredible to see. It's my favorite time to be on my phone because it's just outpour of support for that mission. And the awards, it's the second year this year. Voting just opened. So you can vote now for different people in 6 different categories. And we have like over 30 awards. So it's really cool to see there's esports awards, marketing awards, game development, content creation, charity, and rising stars.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these awards. I think the big one here is the top Twitch Streamer of the Year award. Rebecca, take us a little bit behind the scenes here. What are the requirements? How do you guys determine the candidates? What do you have to do to be in the mix here to earn top Twitch Streamer of the Year?
Well, anybody can nominate anyone for the awards, and that's what's really cool about it. You don't have to be the biggest name in the industry. You can have 5 followers and still participate in our awards. So the nomination period closed already, but that was when you would pick somebody and submit them for us, and then we move every single nomination into voting as long as they accept their nomination and want to continue. For Twitch streamer, it's just a woman, non-binary person or marginalized gender that is streaming online and really making a difference, bringing attention to important issues, and just really raising the bar on what streaming can be.
So how many eligible folks do we have here for the Twitch Streamer of the Year award? Do we know when we go online
That's the
how
biggest
many?
category. I'm not sure exactly how many there are for that category, but there's a decent amount. The rest of them have less people in each category, but that one's the biggest because there's a lot of awesome streamers out there that deserve to be recognized.
Very cool. Rebecca Wellman enlightening us on the Game Hers mission and their awards coming up here on the State of Football. Make sure you get your vote in, thegamehers.gg. Make sure you go get your vote in now. Do it. Vote multiple times. Come back tomorrow and vote. Come back next week and vote. We want to tally them up. And Amanda Ruler here with Rick Saratel. Amanda, what else you got for Rebecca?
I was just looking up the website, and like, this is such an amazing movement, and I think all I have to say is I'm very proud that you are part of it, and I'm so excited to see where it could go in the future.
Thanks. Yeah, we're really looking forward to just bringing all of these really exciting initiatives together. And once the awards kind of comes to a close, we'll have that app roll out, and are really excited to bring that out to everybody.
I'm looking for the date because this is going to be streamed on Twitch. I know. It's in
November. I don't think there's an exact date yet, but once we talk to all the finalists and make sure that it works for everyone's schedule, then we'll have an official date and we'll announce it on our socials.
Very cool. And so that'll be on the Gamehers Twitch channel?
Yes.
All right, so go subscribe to the Twitch. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. Make sure you follow Rebecca on Twitter. Make sure you tune back in here on the State of Football as we bring you inside the world of esports. And this is fascinating stuff that you guys are doing at the Gamehers. Rebecca, any other initiatives, any other content or things that you want to promote here before we wrap things up?
No, we're just mainly really excited about the app, and you can sign up for an opportunity to be a part of our beta test on our website. So it's right on the homepage.
How about some of the things that they'll find on the app? Can we give a little sneak peek there?
Yeah, you can meet other women or marginalized genders or non-binary persons on there, and then you can chat with them in the app, and then you can go and play games with them. So it's just a place where you can meet people, interact a little bit, and then match up and play games. So you can pick from different games and go on and play with them outside of the app.
There you have it. If you're watching at home, meet, chat, play the Gamehers. The app is coming. It's coming soon. Make sure you get on the email list there. Sign up for the app. Be part of that beta testing program. There's going to be a lot of cool features to come. And I've had a chance to talk to the great founders of the Gamehers. What a great collection of strong, powerful women, and their motives and initiatives have me pumped up, fired to go. So we're big fans of the Gamehers here, Rebecca, and we can't thank you enough for spending a few minutes to take some time with us here on the State of Football, part of the Fan Nation Network on Sports Illustrated.
Thank you so much. We're big fans of you guys as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's Rebecca. This is Rick. We've still got Amanda. Our show is expanding here every Wednesday. It was a quite the diverse guest lineup here, I guess I shall say.
Oh yeah. No, we had a lot of people today, so it was cool to see insights from everybody.
Yeah, baseball. We got a little Yankees talking, football, Germany, Canada, gamers. I mean, what else you want out of life?
I don't know.
Buckle up. You want
Nothing
real
else.
football talk? You want
Right
esports, man? Check us out, cf1.gg. After you check out the Gamers website, go check out cf1.gg. We are accepting Valorant registrations as we speak. If you're one of those schools who registered and we're waiting on your paperwork, what are you waiting for? Get her done. Yo, call me up. Hit me up. RIC at NFLDraftBible.com. I'm not hard to find. We want to get you in there. We got a lot of prizes that we're giving away, a lot of great benefits when you join the Conference One, and it's going to be a real situation. A lot of people think they watch the Jersey Shore and they say, man, yo, that's a situation. No. Conference One is a situation. And so we're so pumped up for this. Our collegiate esports competitive Valorant season will kick off October 4th. So we're coming at you, doing big things. Make sure you follow us at CF1 on Twitter. Of course, I am your acting commissioner, and we actually are having a event in New York next week, I believe, for those interested in sponsoring or supporting the Conference One initiative. We'll be out there next week, so get at me for that. Really excited to bring this to the forefront. Amanda, final thoughts? I know you got to get to practice. I held you up here long enough for today. Here before we go.
Another minute, she's on mute.
Oh, she's on mute. Can we unmute her?
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I just said get out there and be great today, everyone.
Take two remix. Whoa, that's serious. RIC and Amanda Ruler here, chopping it up. Always have fun with you, Amanda. So thank you so much for rocking and rolling with us here today. We'll do it again next week. And tomorrow we'll have Dane Vandernat. We'll have Neil Stratton. And oh, by the way, we'll have Cam Chancellor. Buckle up. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, everybody.